It's an honor to be here. We want to be known as the #1 state for civic literacy in the nation. And today we're going to sign 3 bills that address key pillars of our civic literacy efforts. It's crucial to ensure that we teach our students how to be responsible citizens. They need to have a good working knowledge of American history, American government, and the principles that underlie our Constitution and Bill of Rights. And these efforts are needed. A recent survey found that only 2 in 5 American adults can correctly name the 3 branches of government. More than a third of Americans cannot name any of the rights that are protected by the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And in 2018, a poll found that only 36% of Americans could pass a multiple-choice version of the citizenship test that our naturalized citizens have to take before becoming American citizens. And so we've got a lot of work to do. And what I'd like to remind people is as we do all these important things, I mean, reading, writing, math, all the different sciences, all this stuff, it's very important. Once students graduate high school, some will go to college, some of them will do other things, and we're big supporters of vocational education and some of the other alternative pathways. Whatever you do, this civics is going to be relevant because you are going to be a citizen. You're going to have to discharge the duties of citizenship, and we want people to be able to do that with a very strong foundation. So today we have 3 bills. The first bill I'll sign is House Bill 5. It does a number of really important things. One, it has the Department of Education. It tasks them with developing and approving an integrated civics curriculum. It's very important that students graduate high school with a key knowledge of certain key principles and facts. And I think that civics curriculum can really provide a guide to how that should be done. The bill also expands our previous efforts in civics to add a requirement for the high school government class that students receive instruction on the evils of communism and totalitarian ideologies. We have a number of people in Florida, particularly southern Florida, who've escaped totalitarian regimes, who've escaped communist dictatorships to be able to come to America. We want all students to understand the difference. Why would somebody flee across shark-infested waters, say leaving from Cuba to come to southern Florida? Why would somebody leave a place like Vietnam? Why would people leave these countries and risk their life to be able to come here? It's important that students understand that. Now, as part of this bill, Florida will create a Portraits in Patriotism library so students can learn about real patriots who came to this country after seeing the horrors of these communist regimes. We actually have folks here today. You'll hear from her in a minute, Anna Abauza. She came to the United States when she was a teenager, fleeing from Nicaragua when the Sandinistas brought socialism to that country. She graduated from the University of Florida, met a Venezuelan, and moved to Venezuela. Well, she had a great life there for a time, and then you had another socialist dictatorship take over and destroy her other country. So once again, she risked her life to come back to Florida with her family, making sure the next generation understands what people like Anna have had to go through for the rights and freedoms we enjoy in this country is exactly why that bill was written. I'm also going to be signing Senate Bill 1108. The bill bridges civics education between our high schools and post-secondary institutions by requiring state college and state university students to take both a civic literacy course and a civic literacy assessment as a graduation requirement. Currently, students are only required to do one. The bill further requires high school students to take a civic literacy assessment. It doesn't have high state consequences, but if you pass the test, you're exempted from the post-secondary test requirement. The bill also expands character development curriculum for high school juniors and seniors and includes instructions on how to vote. Finally, I'm signing House Bill 233. The bill requires colleges and universities to conduct annual assessments on the intellectual freedom and viewpoint diversity at these institutions. It used to be thought that a university campus was a place where you'd be exposed to a lot of different ideas. Unfortunately, now the norm is really these are more intellectually repressive environments. You have orthodoxies that are promoted and other viewpoints are shunned or even suppressed. We don't want that in Florida. You need to have a true contest of ideas. Students should not be shielded from ideas, and we want robust First Amendment speech on our college and university campuses. And I think that having intellectual diversity is something that's very, very important as we go forward. And I know a lot of parents, one of the things they worry about, if you send a kid to a university, are they just going to basically be indoctrinated? Are they actually going to be taught to think for themselves, challenge assumptions, and really be critical thinkers and learners? We obviously want our universities to be focused on critical thinking, academic rigor. We do not want them as basically hotbeds for stale ideology. That's not worth tax dollars, and that's not something that we're going to be supporting going forward. So these bills build off a lot of the work we've done since I took office. When I took office, we signed an executive order eliminating Common Core and establishing a series of objectives for the DOE to deliver high-quality standards and instruction in Florida schools, including civics education. And the legislature subsequently approved House Bill 807 in 2019. In 2020, Florida became the first state in the nation to adopt a kindergarten through grade 12 civic literacy book list in its English language arts standards. And 2 weeks ago, at my direction, the State Board of Education took action to stop critical race theory and the 1619 Project curriculum from being a part of our school system. We do not want curriculum that is judging students based on their race, and we do not want false history like you see with the 1619 Project. So in less than 1 month, the State Board of Education will adopt new kindergarten through grade 12 civics education standards.